Happy Sunday, and this week's Showcase Sunday is actually quite different to our other Showcase Sundays because we have issues in the hospitality industry that need addressing, but need addressing in detail. And I mentioned on the FAQ Friday this week about some top tips of how to actually deal with angry customers, difficult customers, customers with higher expectations than you're used to, and also how to deal with people who have lost their social skills. And this week's Showcase Sunday, I'm actually giving you lots of ideas, but also showcasing where the industry is struggling and what is actually happening out there. We have seen on the news recently that some businesses are wearing t-shirts, #BeKind, and making a standpoint. And I wanted to address and help and support the hospitality industry to actually be able to be ready and understand how to give you some top tips, but also dive a little bit deeper and explain every one of those tips for you today. So the top tips: when you have people who are being difficult, the number one thing is to listen. There will be an element of something that's going on in their own lives. Do not take it personal, because this is something that is really important that you've got to train your team on. Please, please go through training. There is a lot out there. We have got lots of training, as you've seen on prior Showcase Sundays here. We have Hannah Cleesby from HC Training, all about mental health awareness and mental health training. We have lots of different other elements to certainly look out for. And Caroline Pett mentioned about anxiety, stress, awareness and how to deal with that. So please look at her Showcase Sunday as well, which was last week. Now we have got, when we looked at it, we have got certain elements that we need to address first and foremost. What is your business right now? What are you allowing? What are you not allowing? What is your ethics and values? And these are massive to be communicated, not just to your teams, but your teams are vitally important that you say what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. But what is really important on your ethics and values? And do you share that throughout your whole organization and also throughout your customer communication as well? Now, what do I mean by that? If you are in hospitality, you're being hospitable. You're there to serve. You're there to look after your guests. You're there to look after your teams. And in all essence, you're a people pleaser. You're somebody who is going to make sure that your guest experience is second to none. However, you're not there to be abused. And some elements of the lockdown where it's eased, people are coming back out and have not had the social skills for a year or so, and they're finding it difficult. They're probably in fear, anxiety, and they're probably struggling with communication as well. So be really clear on your ethics and values, so what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate. And I think when you look at what hospitals did, the NHS did a few years ago, where they were very clear about looking at no tolerance on abuse or difficult circumstances. And this is what we've got to adopt in a very personable way in the hospitality industry, because nobody in the hospitality industry should be there for abuse of any description, whatever that may be. And as we've seen on the news and we've heard, different organisations are closing down their operations until they can actually give their team time off. and giving them, you know, that's breathing space, and be able to look after them. So be clear. So on your website, on your social media, you know, have the hashtag be kind, but also be really clear that you will not tolerate, and I mean this, even if it's, you know, your occupancy and your revenue, I totally understand it, but everybody will back you up if you're very clear on your ethics and values, what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. The other element is when you are dealing with difficult customers, then listen, and definitely the training and development of your teams now is vital, and of yourself and your management team, because you are in unknown territory. This is not normal circumstances for guests to be so upset, so uptight, and so difficult. But actually take time out, listen, put people at ease. If you can, make sure there's no audience about when people are getting very angry and very upset. But actually just listen. And if it is where you will have to remove them from your business, then so be it. Because if you've been very clear in your communication on your media channels, maybe on your business, but also, you know, whether you have a highlight, and I know it's difficult if you're a luxury operation, but you need to be very communicative about how you're going to handle it. So if anybody does express any difficult or angry or abusive aspects of what they're saying, then you will take action to remove them from your premises. And you need to be clear what that means, and then follow it through if it does happen. And the big thing that so many members of the teams in hospitality are really struggling with right now is that they're frightened because they're not empowered. So empower your team, that if they have a difficult circumstances and they've had the training and development of knowing what to accept and what not to accept, and how to deal with different circumstances, then help them to know that you've got their back, that you will support and you will empower them to be able to make those decisions, because that is key for a happy working environment. It is difficult out there right now, and it is really showcasing some serious elements of difficult people who are not showing their normal personality, and this is due to, you know, obviously the pandemic. But have a no tolerance policy, so you will not tolerate anybody in the operation being abusive to your team members. And what that looks like, you know, no raised voices, you know, that we treat each other very kindly, and we have that hashtag be kind. And I think it's very important that that is trained throughout the team, but that communication is also clear for all your guests, your customers, your suppliers who are involved with you. Now, the big thing is in all this is stay calm. If you don't stay calm and you get triggered, it multiplies the issue massively. And it's not worth it whatsoever, and it puts distress, anxiety, fear on your team members. So help them to understand what stay calm looks like, you know, to take deep breaths, to change their mindset, but don't be triggered, because if you get triggered, as you know, it doesn't help the issue. So lower your voice, take time out, and actually help your guests to understand that this is not acceptable. I think as well is, when I say shift your mindset, always think positively, that this is not about you, it's not personal whatsoever. This is about that person who's obviously their expectations of what they were anticipating have not been met. Or it could be something else has happened within their lives that are now impacting on what you are doing. And 9 times out of 10 complaints are of that, if they're quite aggressive, angry, or they've got a bit of distress attached to them. And this is not yours to hold on to. It is difficult. I totally understand that. I've been in situations myself where people have been very, very intolerable on the abusiveness or actions where it wasn't relevant to actually what had happened, the situation or the scenario. And here it's about staying calm, lowering your voice, listening, and obviously, you know, acknowledge their distress and say, I understand that you're upset. I understand you've obviously not happy with this current situation, and repeat back to them what that means, because so many times it's not what they're thinking. They're just firing off on all cylinders, and you're the first one to get the bullets, unfortunately, and that's not acceptable. But shifting your mindset and keeping positive, keeping personable, keeping doing what you do really, really well. And if you've got the backup of your teams that you will all address, that you will see straight away, if you've got your ethics and values very clear, and you're very clear on how you will handle every situation, and if it's not acceptable, then unfortunately, those clients, those customers will have to depart your business. So be really clear what that means, what it looks like, and how all of you will handle it, and you will support each other, because you are working as a team, and teams support and make sure that you have the winning strength. And I think find out what's going on if you can. What is the issues that's obviously triggered that person? You know, you can respond really clearly if you actually know what the distress is, and sometimes it's nothing to do with you. And I think it's really important that you listen, you find out what's happening, what's caused the distress, and how you can help and support each and every person within your organization, but also your customers too, because everybody around them will be feeling very uncomfortable as well, all your other guests, and that's not something that they expected or anticipated happening when they were coming to visit your business or your organization. So understand what's going on, try and take a step back and understand what is the big picture here, and has it got any relevance to your business, or is it just something that's happening out of your control, but out of your guest control as well. And I know so many people are, you know, having difficult experiences in life right now with fear, anxiety. You know, we've got enough going on with people wearing a mask and actually reminding guests to be COVID secure. I totally appreciate that, but actually doing it in an order where it is personable, so that even if you said it a million times in the day, remember the last person walks through the business or the building or your organization should have the same service as the first person. Be consistent, be effective, be positive, keep your mindset of, and keep having moments where you grab the team together and say, guys, we're in it together. We're here to help and support each other. And it's okay. It's okay to have a rough day or a rough moment, but let's pick ourselves up and work as a team, and let's hope, let's motivate and hold each other up to be able to take each day as it comes, but actually look at every member of your team and be very aware. Remember their mental health awareness, because some people may handle it effectively, some people may struggle with it. So be very understanding about confidence on how your team are handling certain situations, but training, communication is so key right now, and actually holding the hand through every step of the way. And you know, I'm always here to help and support you all. I felt today was really important about just going through, you know, some customer complaint areas of how to handle it, but also to understand that things are difficult. I appreciate that. You may be short-staffed, but if you are in a position where the pressure is on, you're short-staffed and you're struggling to meet your guest expectations, communicate with them. If you don't communicate with them, the problems you get is they start getting impatient, aggravated, and that's when the complaints start to happen. And what we want is, obviously, the more you communicate and explain, we're having a difficult day today, or we're really struggling right now, and we are trying to serve you as quickly as possible, but we will have a wait time of 40 minutes instead of the usual 20 minutes. Then at least they are informed and guests can make their own informed decisions, and that's the key. So the more you communicate, the more you're positive, the more your mindset is really clear that you're there to help and support, but be hospitable and help your teams cope with the difficult circumstances. And also, you know, keep geeing them along and keep that buzz alive, and you will do really well. So I'm here to help and support, and anything I can do to keep you motivated, inspired, to keep on that amazing journey that you're on, I will. So happy Sunday, everybody. Have a great Showcase Sunday, and enjoy and take each day as it comes. And remember to communicate your ethics and values, be really clear, train and develop your teams, handhold them and empower them, and obviously support and back them up as much as possible, and have it clear, #BeKind, and be clear that what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate, and do it in a personable, effective way about your brand, and that you're here to look after guests, and you're here to ensure that they have a great experience, and communicate all throughout the whole way, but have a no tolerance policy, and make sure that's communicated throughout the whole organization as well as your guests. Listen to your customers, repeat their concerns back to them so that they understand what they're complaining about. Sometimes they forget because they're busy having an angry moment. Learn how you can stay calm, not get triggered, and actually lower your voice, and really you know, don't take it personally, because it's not about you, it's about the situation that they are currently in, or the struggles they're suffering with at the moment. All the very best, and thank you very much. Happy Showcase Sunday, and happy Sunday. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.